Button Up podcast show focused on sales to profit growth. I'm Polly Ingram. Hi, friend. Welcome to the Button Up podcast show. I'm Polly Ingram. I'm happy to see you're here today. So today I want to talk about the 3 common mistakes frequently made by new sales professionals. This is something that we talk about pretty often, and we look at the things that we can correct for our existing sales professionals, but we forget sometimes new sales professionals don't know the very basics of sales. And there are just a couple mistakes that are commonly made over and over again. And if we correct those early on, it can have a huge impact in growth for our organization. So I wanted to cover those today, and hopefully it'll help you in some way in your business. The first one that I want to talk about is many sales professionals, especially new ones, they go in to see a customer and they want to talk more than they listen. While we all enjoy speaking, it's important that when you go in as a sales professional and you meet with clients, you listen to the customer. It's more important that you listen to the customer than you're speaking, because you'll learn a lot of insight with that customer. You're going to learn what they need, the pain points that they're having. How can you add value to them and their business and their organization? Perhaps you have a way with your business to help them. And other times, as you listen and you ask questions and you listen to the responses, you learn that maybe there's something else that's a better fit, and maybe your organization is not the best fit for the need that they have at that time. However, by listening to the client, listening to them, providing a little feedback, and then working toward what's the best solution for that client, they will remember you and will see you more as a consultant rather than just a fly-by-night sales professional that's not really, really they won't see you as a sales professional. They'll see you as just a not a very good sales rep, basically. So don't go in talking more than you listen. Remember the old saying, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. That really holds true when you're in sales. And oftentimes we have sales professionals that don't realize that. So it's pretty important. I myself have walked out of places because where I intended to purchase, but I've walked out because the salesperson that they had would not be quiet and listen to the needs that I had. And I left and I went to another business and made the purchase that I needed to make, where I fully intended to purchase at one place initially and would have done business with that organization. It was nothing against the organization other than the fact they had the wrong person in the seat, because they didn't notice that they had somebody that talked too much entirely and didn't listen to their customers. So the second one that I want to talk about today that's a common mistake that's frequently made by new sales professionals, they show up and spew out, basically. They show up to the customer site. They want to dump all of the knowledge that they've just learned it about an organization, or maybe they've known it, and they want to share all their knowledge real quick to the customer. And, here's what we've got to sell. This is what we do, da-da-da-da-da. But they don't really develop a relationship with the client or add value for that client, or even help the client understand where there would be value added. Again, this is similar to the first situation that I mentioned. There have been times where myself and others, I've listened to them talk about it, have decided not to purchase from a supplier based on their sales rep. So it's more important than we realize that we get the right person in that role, because you need to make sure that it's somebody that can develop a good, strong relationship, can share the value that you have to offer as an organization with your clients, and help them understand how that value that's being added to them, how your organization can help their organization be even stronger. And your services are a value added. So that's that's the second one. The third one that I wanted to talk about today that's a very large common mistake that's made by even seasoned sales professionals in many cases, but especially you'll find many new sales professionals will have this make this mistake for a while before they really learn their sales skills and get them strengthened. And that's they never ask for the sale. So closing is so very vital. And if you don't, you can go in and you can talk all day long. You can listen to the customer. You can develop a relationship. You can help them understand the value that you add. You can help them understand where you can benefit their business and how your services or your product, whatever it is that you're selling, could add value to their organization. But if you never ask for the next step, for the sale of that product or that service, the client's probably not going to purchase it from you. I've actually known of situations where clients have gotten all of the information. They've asked a sales professional all kinds of questions. The professional has provided them with all kinds of information. They've provided them literature. They've answered questions. They've actually added a lot of value, but they never asked for the sale. And with that next little step, then the client actually went to a competitor from this very organization and asked them a little bit of information, and because now they're knowledgeable on it, and the competitor gave them a price and closed the deal. So don't let that be the situation that happens in your organization. Make sure that you get the right person in the sales role so that you can grow your business and make more profits by having the right people in the right places. So this is an important area, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today because sometimes it's something that as business owners we don't often realize that sales professionals can either hurt us or really help our business grow, and they can make a huge difference. We had not too terribly long, well, probably 3 or 4 months ago, we actually had somebody that stopped by, and at a time that we were in need of a service. In fact, it was a roof that we were in need of, and a gentleman stopped by. He was the sales rep for a particular company, and he talked about the what all he could do and so forth, his organization, and he had a lot to say. He shared this with my husband, and my husband was impressed. I called him and asked a couple questions. He struggled to answer my questions, and in fact, kind of avoided. He really didn't even want to answer my questions, I could tell. And so when I asked for one particular thing, and he came back out and said, well, told my husband, well, he couldn't find the quote, so he repriced it. And my husband said, well, this price is like double the price you gave last time. He goes, oh, well, yeah, sometimes it is. And he was just very shady. And so my husband went from being impressed to being nervous. And I'd already made the decision when I talked to him on the phone. We weren't using him, so it didn't really matter the rest of it. I'd already called somebody else and who was very professional and made the deal with them. So that's something where you have to really be careful. Like I said, that company may be very well. They may do a fabulous job, but their sales professional did a poor job, and he lost the sale for them. So take that into consideration and think about how you do business yourself every day. And so you want to at least do some checking on how your people are performing out in the field. Have a wonderful day, wonderful week, and we'll talk to you next week. If you're enjoying these podcasts, it helps me if you'll go on to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. And remember, the greatest compliment is to share with a friend.
If this show is good, please leave an Apple Podcast for my mama.